I'm Zoe, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make Jessie from Toy Story as a cake topper. So she's going to be pretty big, so actually you might not even put her on top of your cake. I'm going to start with a ball of Rice Krispie treats, which are just Rice Krispies and marshmallows melted together, and I'm going to cover it in Saracino modeling paste. So the modeling paste I'm using is pretty firm. Sometimes I have to microwave it for just a couple of seconds just to make it kneadable, because I've got quite cold hands. If you've got hot hands, you might find you don't need to do that. And we're just going to put it onto the front of the face. Now, I do have an affiliate link as well for the type of modeling paste I'm using, the Saracino one. I'll put that below the video and in the video, so you guys can get a bit of a discount if you wanted to have a try at using it. So I also bought myself a toy of Jessie just so I could see from all the way around kind of the different shapes. Because from an image, it's easy to tell what they look like from the front, but not always from like the side view. So I'm trying to pull out a bit of a nose, not too defined because it's fairly kind of sort of rounded and it's not a detailed nose. And then we're just going to push in at the cheeks. I'll try and tag below the tools I'm using as well. The hook tool that I'm using was a Carlos Laschetti one. I don't think they make them anymore, but I think Cherart do something similar. I've cut open the mouth and we're just going to prise it open a little bit because I want it to have some teeth in there. And I'm just going to press just underneath where the bottom lip will be. And then we're just going to shape a little bit of white modeling paste now and just pop that in place there. So let's put an eye socket in each side, starting with the ball tool, and then we'll change the shape slightly by putting a point on the inner corner. And then I'm just going to kind of mark out the size I want them to be. So let's just push that eye socket kind of down and in at that point just to make it a bit bigger. Okay, same on both sides. And then before we put the eyes in, let's add some color. So this is the edible powder dust or color dust. These ones are the petal palettes. It looks quite pink at first, but by the time I've finished her and I've got everything on, it doesn't look as bright pink. I'll try and put a little bit on her lips. I don't want it too strong in color because I don't want her to look like she's wearing lipstick. At the moment, I feel like she's looking like, is it Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph? Actually, I do have a video on making her as well. If anybody does want to watch, you can find that here on my channel. And then we're going to fill the eye sockets with some white modeling paste now. Carefully pushing it in till it meets the edges. She's still got Rice Krispies at the back of her head, but it's fine. We'll deal with that later. I'm going to take some black modeling paste and let's just see where they go to. So it's a nice thin piece. We're just going to cut off the outer edge. I think I cut one slightly bigger than the other. Okay, let's go to my toy for reference for the eyes. It's quite a bright green, and then we'll cover it in or not cover, we'll paint it darker around the edges. So I've mixed my paste to the right color, rolled it thin, and then we're going to cut out some circles. I wasn't sure whether to go for the bigger or the smaller circle, but I think we're going to go for the smaller one. My plan was to put her with the cake that I'd made of lily pad, which you would have seen in last week's video on here. And I wanted her to stand behind it and kind of look down towards Lilypad, which is why I did her eyes in this direction. But I wish I'd done them in a different direction because you'll see later on she doesn't stand very well behind. And then the darker bit around the outer edge is just an edible pen I've used to draw that on with. Then we're going to want a small dot of white in each eye, which is just a rolled ball of the modeling paste squished in there. And I think I'm going to go a bit darker still. This time I'm just using some gel food colour to paint that on. We're going to roll some nice thin pieces for her eyebrows. You can stick this down with just water. It usually does the job fine. Then we want some more of her skin tone. 2 balls to push on each side of the head. Just make sure the ears don't come higher than the eyes. And then let's shape them a little bit just in the middle there. And they look a different colour now to the face because she had the colour dust added. So let's add some of that to the ears as well. Okay, she's not looking too bad. I don't know if her eyes look a little bit kind of too open. We're going to use some red modeling paste this time, and we're going to use a large circle to cut out a disc for the brim of her hat. I'm going to prop it up at each side with a paintbrush because I don't think it's completely flat. And then I'm going to cut a smaller circle out of the middle, or kind of off center, but that's by accident. I'm also going to just cover the back of the head in red or like a reddy orange. I'm just going to push a wooden skewer inside her head. And then what I'm going to do is use an extruder with some white modeling paste to just put a little piece around the outer edge of her hat. See how it fits. I could have maybe done with a bigger hole there. I'll add the rest of the white bits later. So let's move on to the body. I'm going to make her on some polystyrene because she's so tall that I think she's going to wobble. Now, I did print off a template or a picture that I could use as a template, and I've actually shortened her legs a lot. So she's not the same size as the actual image was originally, and I'm going to use a metal armature wire because it's going to need something solid inside it, otherwise the figure's not going to hold up. I'm actually going to keep the wood in but tape this metal internal structure to that, and then I'm just going to add a bit of modelling paste around there for the neck. Can you see a bit of it sticks out of the back, but that's fine. I'm going to cover that later with hair. It's just a bit of colour on there. Then I'm going to use some white modelling paste for her body. You can hear how hard it is until I soften it. Okay, we're going to kind of wrap it around the body here, squeezing it to shape. And we're trimming it extra off that we don't need from the bottom. I wish I could have made her the full height that Jessie would have been on the picture, but she just would have been so tall that it wouldn't have balanced very well on this. Okay, so we've got some yellow that's rolled nice and thin. I've cut some circles out the bottom to get the shape. I've just stuck it to sort of the chest part of her, and then I'm just cutting off any extra. Then we want a thin piece of red to just go along the bottom for the detailing. Then we're going to cut her a little collar. So we're going to get a couple of triangles. I'm going to put them around the bottom of the neck there like that. And then she's got these silver button things, which have like another colour in the middle, white in the middle. And then the detailing on here, I decided I was going to use a red edible pen for. Now, because of the metal armature wire, I'm not going to be eating her anyway. Even though everything we've used on her is edible, just because of how much wire goes in it, we're not going to be eating this one. So I'm just going to trim any extra wire off the bottom. Check she sits in the polystyrene. You can see the huge amount of mess that I work in now. I gather so many things around like my workspace as I'm working. Okay, so her boots next. I'm going to use pre-coloured paste because it's just going to be easier. I'm going to make them much chunkier than her actual boots. So they're not going to be the same at all. And the reason for this is just so that they help balance her by her having quite large feet. So instead of being the cowboy boots that go up her legs, mine are going to be just kind of small shoes. And I'm going to make her jeans cover sort of the tops of these shoes. And on the toy, you would see the full cowboy boot. But hopefully it's not too obvious on mine that it's not quite as it should be. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is use some blue modelling paste. So I've kind of squished it a little bit, and then I've put some water on the back, and I'm folding it around the leg or the metal structure. And see, I've got images of her on my computer in the background as well to help me just as I'm working, just to have this reference. Okay, so squeeze that on there. Don't worry if there's a seam at the front of the leg because we're going to cover that up later. Put a little piece at the top of the legs. Can you see like how thin her legs are at like the joint up at the hip? And also they go thin at the knee. I haven't put that bit on yet, which is why it's so important that we have like wire in there. Also, I have gone much thicker than I should have done with these pieces of modelling paste. And that's just to give her long, sort of slender legs a bit more strength by keeping them that little bit chunkier than they should be. And I'm going to press in at the knee. Again, I haven't made it as thin as it should be because I don't want it to break at that point. Just roll a bit of brown nice and thin for the belt. I'm going to put an oval of brown on there for the buckle. I was going to try and put in the little sort of motif that she's got on there, but I decided it looked better just plain. I was just making a mess of it when I was trying to add that in. Okay, let's add the little belt hooks. Is that what they're called on your jeans? And then put some stitching lines in. Okay, then we're going to roll some pieces of white for these bits that stick out on. I don't even know what are these parts called. It's what cowboys wear, isn't it? But I don't know what they're called. So we're just sticking those on the outside bit of each leg. I wanted to try and get the stitching detail in a bit darker, so I just added some really watered down black food colouring into that. Then we're working on her hands. I've kind of marked in the fingers first and then cut that afterwards. And I think we're just going to sit these on her hips. Just cut off the rest of the wrist. So she's got a little bit of a wrist on show, but not all of it. Then we'll work on the arms. So just a nice thin piece. Again, it's very thin at the elbow joint, but mine can't be too thin, otherwise it will break. Especially, I don't know if you guys watched me making Mr. Potato Head the other week. I broke his arm where I went a bit thin with it. Okay, so it looks red on video, but this is like a really like reddy orange colour that I'm going to use for her hair. I was torn between just adding a thick piece to the back of her head or individual strands, but it was taking too long with the individual strands. So I went for a thick piece. And you can just about see what I'm doing here. Sorry, my hand kind of gets in the way. Don't worry, it's not neat yet because we can fill that in later. But where I've cut it across the top is where her hat is going to kind of rest on there. And I'm just adding lines into the rest. And then I'm going to plait a piece for the back. Now, my plait is way too big. And I'm sorry if I pronounce plait different to everybody else. Is it plait or plate? No, it's plait, isn't it? So let's put some lines in each piece. And I'm going to try and stick the first piece underneath. Now, I thought it would be a good idea to plait it in place, but it probably would have been easier for me to plait it not on her head and then stick it on afterwards. Those of you guys that have got my plait mold, you could use this for this plait. It would have been ideal, but I don't have any plait molds left, and I think I sold my actual one that I had, so I couldn't show you it using that one. But there we go. You can just see her hat just about fits on there. It's all the brim of her hat. Honestly, I should have done that hat much bigger now, but it's too late at this stage. I'm committed to that size. Okay, so some front smaller pieces of hair are going on. And then I did want to make it look more like it was kind of wool or whatever her hair's made from. Is her hair made from wool or some kind of like cord? So I put some lines on that. And I just want to make a small yellow bow for the back of her plait. The plait is definitely way too long. I think it will be fine. Then we're going to put some little cuffs on in yellow. I'm just trimming any extra off. And then I'm just adding the detailing with the edible red pen again. And then those little white bits, which I don't know what they're called. Then at this stage, I can go back and add, again, it's not stitching, is it? The little, I don't know what you call all these details. But yeah, we'll stick that on the hat. And then I'm going to pattern I really should look up what these things are called that cowboys wear. Anyway, I'm patterning them in black edible pen, so that hopefully matches roughly with the patterning on her trousers. And then I can add some edible gold to her buckle. And then I'm just going to add a tiny bit of shading into the cracks of the hair and anywhere that should be a little bit darker. And then a little piece for the top of her hat. And then you can see in the background last week's cake. And there she is, all finished. So she is very tall. You don't have to leave her on the polystyrene base, but for stability, I probably would leave her on there. And don't forget to check out the other cakes that I made. So she's not a cake, but Lily Pad and Potato Head are both cakes, and you can find them both on my channel. I made those in the last few weeks. Technically, I made them all together, but you guys are seeing them over a series of weeks. Okay, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I look forward to seeing you for the next video soon.